Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kodash. I give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations of much love to rescue sincere Akim, pushing the word and truth and sincerity. This is the Cleric Azar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming and how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. Correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson the Ohio train derailment in Super 8. Okay, the image I have on display is from a film I've watched in my past. Of course, being this truth, I reflected on this particular series. This movie was released on June 10th, 2011. The title of it, of course, is Super 8, directed by J.J. Abrams. Okay, I'm going to play this scene, and I'm going to bring out some information. Alright, now you can of course watch that yourself if you ever get a chance. But believe it or not, I was thinking about this film probably about a week before the official crash that happened in Ohio with the train derailment there. And as soon as it happened, I was like, oh man, I wish I could check it out, this movie in time. I know a lot of the brothers were mentioning White Noise, and I have to get around to checking that out as well. In fact, I was going to watch that movie and do a lesson on that. But this particular movie was on my spirit, so I decided to rewatch it and go over some things. Let me go and bring out this synopsis of this particular film real quick. This in the synopsis, and you can check this on IMDb as well as Wikipedia yourself. But this movie is set in the summer of 1979, and basically a group of friends witness a train crash and investigate subsequent unexplained events in their small town. So I'm just going to bring out some trivia that you can re-verify yourself on imdb.com. I'm going to bring out some things here that I'm going to bring out some things that are actually happening currently. So basically, just going through my notes here. The train crash was purposely made much more sensational than a train crash would actually be. The goal was to pay homage to the science fiction movies of the 1970s. And this train crash was actually largely improvised. There was no set storyboard for this key event in the film. Now, I'm not sure if you know what a storyboard is, but in order for the director to get an idea of what he's going to shoot, he actually does these like comic book style panels on boards to get an idea of what shots are actually going to occur in the film. Okay. Now, an additional trivia note, or side piece I should say, while addressing the Academy of Achievement in 2006, Steven Spielberg, who happened to be the producer on this particular film, said that his initiation to the magic of movies and the direct influence which actually got him to shoot his first film as a kid was Cecil B. DeMille. And so I'm always mentioning Cecil B. DeMille in my videos, but his inspiration was from Cecil B. DeMille's The Greatest Show on Earth that came out in 1952, which and specifically, especially its sequence of a train and car accident. Okay, interesting fact. Okay, But in Super 8, this film, which is a direct homage to the style of the family films from the 1980s, produced or directed by Steven Spielberg, the train and car accident is the initiation moment for the coming adventure. Okay, so this particular train derailment actually sets off the whole story. And in the actual movie, there's a reference to the 3 Mile Island accident, and it was initially part of the script, but Japan's Fukushima Daiichi meltdown occurred while they were in post-production. And if you don't know what post-production is, that's when they're everything's been shot, and they're going over editing and finalizing the CGI effects and so forth. And so, okay. So this particular 3 Mile Island accident was removed, and it was a 3 Mile Island, a 3 Mile Island accident. If you want to go into it, occurred back in 1999. Okay. I'm sorry. I may be wrong with that. I'm sorry, 1979, as a matter of fact. Salaki on that. That happened in, according to Wikipedia, it says this happened in the Susquehanna River in Londonderry Township, Pennsylvania, near the Pennsylvania capital of Harrisburg. Okay. And, so, a little similar, but let me go into some historical facts here. During this recent train derailment in Ohio, all right, keep in mind, in Super 8, this particular train derailment happened in Ohio as well, okay? It happened in southwestern Ohio, in a fictional town, and in this recent train derailment happened in February 3rd. This happened in eastern Ohio, okay, towards the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania. Okay, but there was a town hall meeting that was held on February 15th between residents and local, state, and federal officials, and the Norfolk Southern representatives declined to attend due to a perceived physical threat. Some residents expressed distrust in the company and the government, okay, because of all of the chemicals that were spilled and so forth, and all the damage that was being caused, the fish dying, chickens dying and so forth. All different types of nature and wildlife are currently dying at the moment. Okay, and as well, there's been some evacuations and so forth. Okay, now on Wikipedia, which is very interesting, brought up some misinformation. I'm just going to read straight off of what Wikipedia is saying. But the misinformation states here in the misinformation section, says the derailment sparked the spread and circulation of misinformation, fake news, and conspiracy theories. Some of the most frequently repeated claims, most of which were heavy exaggerations of the derailment and the events surrounding it, including these allegations. All right, the train cars had exploded as opposed to a controlled burn with crews or police responsible. The government had locked down East Palestine. The local residents who had been evacuated or left were ordered not to return. Some commenters alleged, this is very interesting, some commenters alleged that concurrently reported high-altitude object events were being overemphasized or even faked as a red herring to distract the public from the derailment or cover it up entirely. Conspiracy theorists such as Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene and football player Aaron Rodgers claimed the U.S. government had faked the high-altitude objects to distract from the derailment. Allegations of American responsibility for the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage and the release of Jeffrey Epstein's client list. Now, which is interesting, in this particular movie, there's a town hall meeting as well. And one lady stands up and talks about Russian involvement. And this movie also includes a crashed chariot. All right, and I've done plenty of videos about that. And if you don't know what a chariot is, it's the what you people are going to call UFOs or flying saucers, and those are the vehicles of the angels in current day. All right, and it's in the Bible, left and right, Old Testament, New Testament, as well as the Apocrypha. Okay, and also there also were chemicals involved as well. There's a chemical plant in this particular film with hazardous chemicals and so forth. And there's also an evacuation. But the military is actually present. The Air Force is actually present in this particular movie. Okay. I may need to rewatch this movie again if you haven't done so already. Check it out. I know a lot of brothers are mentioning white noise, but I had to bring this out that this particular train derailment happened in Super 8 as well. And it's just a coincidence that it happened in a fictional city in Ohio. Okay. Also, which is very interesting. I showed this movie to a brother a year or so back. But in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the military used a ruse to force a mass evacuation. And during the scene, the music that they're playing is very similar to the music that's used in Close Encounters. And keep in mind, Steven Spielberg was the director on that film, who happens to also be the producer of Super 8. Okay, so there's definitely some type of hidden messages that are probably being broadcast to different people. I'm not going to mention, but there's something that's going on with this. Okay, but lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we are not ignorant of his devices, as stated in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Okay, but there's going to be more information coming out on this particular train derailment, and definitely with all these things we keep talking about, the high altitude objects being shot down and so forth. Keep in mind, and I've already done videos on this already, the chariots of the Most High can't be shot down. All right, they're impenetrable. All right, totally undefeated. Okay, there's no such thing as a chariot of the Heavenly Father that's going to malfunction and crash. Okay, and they're not being flown by little green men like that's depicted in this particular movie. All right, like I said, they're being flown by the angels of the Heavenly Father. Okay, and they're going to be making their reappearance during World War III, and not a single one's going to be shot down. All right, it's going to be a clean-cut victory, and this particular kingdom is going to be falling in 1 hour. Okay, as stated in the scriptures, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, but I'm going to end it on this. I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. And this is Yahweh's words in the book of Luke, chapter 12. For there is nothing covered, verse 2, Luke chapter 12, verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear and closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. Okay, so like I said, this information is going to definitely, the more information about this is going to basically come out. And I just wanted to bring out the similarities that I saw with watching this particular film, and I may have to rewatch it again because it's just a coincidence that this movie contained a train derailment, a crash chariot, Russian involvement, hazardous chemicals and so forth, military evacuations and so forth, and it's also the same thing that's happening now. All right, and keep in mind this movie came out in 2011. All right, so that was over a decade ago, and it just happens to be playing out in real life right now. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to share that. The Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.